Hello, and welcome to The Explainer. So, have you ever felt like your brain is just running a marathon? Like you're juggling, I don't know, 15 mental browser tabs at once, but your physical body is just totally stuck at the starting line? Well, today we've got a really specific goal. We're going to learn exactly how to use brain dump strategies to quiet down a loud, overwhelmed mind. We're going to talk about how to externalize those scattered thoughts and actually organize your tasks. We're digging into strategies designed specifically to get all that internal noise out of your head and into a system that actually works for you instead of constantly working against you. Right off the bat, I want you to really think about this question. Is your head just too loud to plan? Look, we have all been there. You're staring at a blank piece of paper, or maybe a blinking cursor on a screen, and the sheer volume of scattered thoughts, anxieties, and random to-do list items, it's so overwhelming that just starting a single task feels literally impossible. It's this very real, almost paralyzing anxiety. Your brain is hyperactive. It's firing off in 100 different directions at once, and it completely blocks your ability to just take that very first step. If this sounds at all familiar, I want to instantly validate that experience for you. It is incredibly common, and honestly, more importantly, it's entirely manageable once you really understand what's actually happening up there. And if that does resonate with you, we need to establish a strict zero judgment zone right here, right now. As our source material points out so perfectly, ADHD is not a flaw. It is simply a different wiring of attention, energy, and motivation. Period. Struggling to initiate a task, losing track of steps, finding it physically impossible to sit still when you're bored. None of that means you're lazy. It definitely doesn't mean you're broken. You might have this incredible superpower to hyper-focus on fascinating things, or think in these massive creative leaps, or spot details literally everyone else misses. Your brain just runs on a different operating system. And when we try to force that unique dynamic system to run on standard, rigid societal schedules, yeah, it crashes. We absolutely need a different approach. So, to navigate this unique wiring, we're diving into some fantastic source material, the Focus and Flourish Planner. Now, this isn't just your standard run-of-the-mill notebook. This system is explicitly designed for brains that run on dopamine, on hyperfocus, and on creative leaps. It throws those rigid schedules that constantly fight you right out the window. Because, let's be honest, those usually just make you feel like you're failing anyway, right? Instead, it gives you a super flexible toolkit to help build routines and track your energy at your own pace. Throughout this explainer, we're going to extract the absolute best strategies from this material, really zeroing in on exactly how to externalize all that mental clutter so you can finally take a breath and get things done. Think of a noisy head, kind of like a crowded room where 10 different radios are all blasting overlapping stations at maximum volume. It's a lot, right? You're scattered, you're overwhelmed, you're stuck, and it is just incredibly loud. The solution to this is what we call the externalized brain. This is exactly what happens when you take all those blaring radios and physically move them out of the room. By getting your thoughts out of your head and onto a physical page, you create this contained, peaceful relief. Your mind suddenly becomes a quiet space. Now, the tasks don't magically disappear, obviously, but they become sorted. They become actionable. You are no longer holding the stress of remembering the whole shebang. The paper is holding it for you. Okay, so how do we actually create that quiet space? We're going to use a highly tactical technique known as the brain dump. It's a core piece of our source material's coping toolkit. And the definition? Beautifully simple. Write everything in your head onto paper. That is literally it. When your head is loud, before you even attempt to plan your day, before you try to schedule a single meeting or look at your homework, you use this brain dump space. It doesn't matter if it's finish the big history essay sitting right next to buy more toothpaste, or even why did I say that totally weird thing at a party in 2014? Just get it all out. It's this immediate, actionable solution to instantly dial down your sense of overwhelm. But listen, there is a massive trap people fall into when they try to do this. The golden rule you have to remember is everything in your head, get it out, sort later. Sort later. That right there is the magic phrase. Do not, under any circumstances, try to organize, prioritize, or categorize your thoughts while you're writing them down. Seriously, if you do that, you're just asking your already overwhelmed brain to do heavy lifting while it's in a state of sheer panic. Your one and only job during a brain dump is the physical act of getting the chaos out of your head and onto the page. It's going to be messy. It's going to be a wild mix of huge life projects and tiny chores. Don't worry about it. Just get it out. So once all that chaos is safely trapped on the paper, then and only then can we apply a little structure. Here's the specific 3-step workflow our source recommends. Step 1, brain dump first, which we just nailed down. Step 2, sort it.
Now you can look at that messy list with a much calmer, quieter brain. You can group things together, cross out the stuff that actually doesn't matter, and figure out what's a priority. And then step 3, which by the way is an absolute game changer, but also kind of the hardest part. Pick the top 3. Out of everything on that massive list, you must ruthlessly select just 3 things to focus on. If you try to tackle 20 things today, you're just going to trigger that overwhelm all over again. All right, let's look at how we take those top 3 and plug them into a daily system that's actually manageable. Our source material outlines this fantastic daily layout for managing the chaos. First up, like we said, your top 3. The rule of thumb here is if nothing else gets done today, these are the 3 things that matter most. Next, it uses time blocks from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., which lets you sort of visually sketch out your day. But you know what I love most? The energy and mood tracking. ADHD energy often comes in these huge, unpredictable waves. Tracking it helps you see exactly when you're naturally at your best, so you can tackle the hard stuff then. Plus, it fiercely protects your rest days when your battery is just completely drained. And finally, to actually crank the work out, it utilizes focus sessions. To get those top 3 tasks done, we use these tailored focus sessions. You might know this as the Pomodoro method, but here it's specifically adapted for hyperactive brains. You do a strict 25-minute focus block. The whole purpose is to work on one specific task from your sorted list, totally without distraction. Knowing it's only 25 minutes, that makes it so much easier for a resistant brain to just, start. Then you absolutely must take a 5-minute break. This is not optional, guys. It's a required rest and reset before the next block. It completely prevents the burnout and that awful brain fog that happens when you try to hyper-focus for 4 hours straight. But what happens when this system breaks down? Because let's be real for a second, it will. Triggers hit, you get overwhelmed, and suddenly you can't even stand to look at your planner. This is where we need to slow things down. That brain dump we've been talking about, it's just one piece of a much larger, incredibly thoughtful coping toolkit. If the brain dump isn't cutting it today, try box breathing. You breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. Or maybe try the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique, noticing things around you that you can see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. Sometimes you literally just need to get up and physically move your body. Shake it out or dance for 60 seconds to reset your nervous system. Or just pick one tiny microscopic task, like filling your water bottle. The goal right now isn't productivity, it's regulating your nervous system so you can find your calm again. And that brings me to a deeply important reminder for anyone out there trying to build a new organizational routine. Start small. Pick just one single page to fill in today. Maybe it's just doing the brain dump, or maybe it's just tracking your mood for the afternoon. That completely counts as a success. We have got to totally eliminate perfectionism here. It is absolutely okay to skip days. Missing days is not a failure, I promise. You don't have to go back and guiltily fill in the blanks. Just open the system again when you remember, starting exactly where you are today.
Now, we need to talk about the biological secret weapon for the ADHD brain: dopamine. Oh yeah. Every small win earns you 5 points. Our source material really drives home that dopamine is not just some nice-to-have bonus. It is an absolute biological necessity to keep an ADHD brain moving forward. You have to celebrate the small things. If you knocked out a 25-minute focus block, or heck, if you just managed to brain dump your messy thoughts, you earn points. These small wins literally, physically fuel your ability to achieve the bigger ones.
So, how do you actually cash in those points? By using a reward menu. You're basically gamifying your own brain's reward system to create sustainable motivation. By externalizing your tasks and completing them, you feed this awesome, structured dopamine loop. A small win gets you 5 points, which you trade in for 5 to 10 minutes of quick joy, maybe watching a funny video or listening to your favorite song. Save up 20 points for a medium win, and you get a real 30 to 60-minute break to treat yourself. And if you save up 50 points, you hit the big win. That's a tangible item, a special outing, or a larger experience you've genuinely been looking forward to. Ultimately, this entire toolkit boils down to one core philosophy: progress, not perfection. Every single page you fill in, it counts. Every page you skip, totally fine. Every time you have to use a reset from your coping toolkit, and every single time you sit down to just brain dump the noise onto a scrap of paper, all of it counts toward your overall progress. You are learning how to work with your beautiful, unique brain rather than constantly punishing it for not being something else. So as we wrap up, I'm going to leave you with this final provocative question. What is one scattered thought you can dump onto paper right now? Seriously, don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't stress about finding the perfect aesthetically pleasing planner. Just grab a pen, grab any random scrap of paper, and immediately experience the profound relief of getting that mental noise out of your head. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this incredible material.
Now go grab that pen, and I'll see you in the next explainer.